This is probably the smallest full-frame cinema camera in the world, the sigmafp. Hello, my name is Ole. Welcome to the sixth and second last episode of my sigmafp masterclass. In this episode, we are going to discuss a detailed workflow for cinema DNG in DaVinci Resolve. Let's dig right in. To begin with, after the import of our file, we're going to create 3 nodes. The first one will be labeled CST, the second one will be labeled LUT, and the third one will be labeled contrast. Let's go to the raw tab. We will decode using clip, white balance can stay as shot, color space is going to become P3D60 and gamma is linear. We can also toggle highlight recovery. I recommend to turn down sharpness to 0. Let's go to the CST node. We apply a color space transform, select input color space P3D60, input gamma is linear, output color space going to become vgamut, and output gamma will be vlog. Tone mapping has to be disabled. On the second node, since this clip was shot on ISO 800, we're going to apply the ISO 800 Sigma Rec. 709 LUT. Now we see that the image snaps back into place. On the third node, we can apply contrast. So you go to the color wheels. The pivot will be set here, so we leave it on the default setting for a second, and contrast will be applied on the slider. So let's apply some contrast. I think this looks pretty good. Let's bring this up to full screen with contrast on, contrast off. Let's reset the contrast node and apply 2 further nodes, since we also want to apply a film print emulation. This one will be labeled again CST, and this one will be labeled FPE. So let's apply a further color space transform. Color space will be Rec. 709. Input gamma will be Rec. 709. Output color space will also remain Rec. 709. But the output gamma is going to become Xenon film lock, as the film print emulation is going to expect this. In this case, tone mapping will be set to DaVinci. On the film print emulation, we will apply the LUT. So we go to film looks, and I would like to go for Rec. 709 Kodak 2383D60. I think this looks already pretty amazing. We might be able to improve this even further by adding some contrast. It seems that the skylight details are located around 90 IRE. So in this case, we will enter 90 IRE as the pivot point and apply some contrast, like so. Let's bring this up to full screen. This is with contrast on, this is with contrast off. I think this looks amazing. Let's disable this. This sample clip can be downloaded from my Google Drive. Thank you for watching. I'm looking forward to see you back on the last and final episode to discuss a detailed workflow in Final Cut.